Hello, everyone. Welcome. I would like to take a moment and welcome everyone to today's webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about the human resource hot topic of onboarding and retaining our workforce. My name is Kale. I'm the Human Resource Manager at Project Solutions based out of Rapid City, South Dakota. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to have this discussion with everyone today about these topics. I do encourage everyone to ask questions and contribute their thoughts to this discussion, and we can have an open discussion. So if we take a look at this slide, we're going to see an overview of today's agenda. We're going to learn more about the following. So we're going to talk about what is onboarding, what does onboarding look like, why onboarding is important, and then how to retain our employees. So what is onboarding? Onboarding is the action or process of integrating a new employee into an organization or familiarizing a new customer or client with one's product or services. So onboarding is a key part to start of a new employee's career because a structured and organized onboarding is going to help employees be engaged from the start. It's a way to help set the new hire up for success beginning on the very first day. Onboarding includes everything from telling them where to park to the expectations that are being set forth for them. It's important to understand the process of onboarding and the importance of onboarding because companies with poor onboarding practices are twice as likely to experience turnover. So what does onboarding look like? You want to ensure the new team member has everything they need to be successful from day one. Organizations with a standard onboarding process experience a 50% greater new hire productivity. So on this screen here, you're going to see a typical onboarding framework. This includes the pre-boarding, mentorship, and the 30, 60, 90-day check-ins. So many people have heard of onboarding, but few understand the importance of pre-boarding. Pre-boarding is a great way to ensure you're organized and everything is ready for the new employee to help hit the ground running right from day one. It helps eliminate the amount of any obstacles that they or you may run into during the first few days. Onboarding mentors should be patient and understanding. As they're new to the company and still trying to figure things out as they go, having a mentor is going to help them with the integration of new employees to the company and understanding the culture of the company. And when we look at formal check-ins, they're important to ensure the employee feels comfortable with their new position and it gives them time to assess what improvements could be made. During these check-ins, you're going to want to ask questions like, what's going well? What roadblocks are you running into? Do they think that they have all of the tools to be successful in this role? And are there areas where improvement is needed? Next, we're going to talk a little bit about new hire information. So getting the new hire forms completed correctly are a vital part of the administrative side of onboarding. New hire forms include, among others, some of the following. So the W-4 and W-2s, the I-9, and then you need to know if you have to report to E-Verify. So in every state, federal contractors and any of their subcontractors with qualifying contracts contain the FAR or Federal Acquisition Regulation E-Verify clause, and they're required to use E-Verify. So the specific details of E-Verify requirements are going to vary by state. So to determine if your business is required to utilize E-Verify, you're going to want to check with your local, county, or state government laws. Something many employees and employers may not know is that employees' I-9s cannot be stored with their personnel file. To protect against any sort of discrimination claims, you want to keep those I-9s and supporting documents in a separate file completely. There's also going to be new hire sheets. They should contain the employee's name, social security number, date of birth, emergency contact, and other general information. You're going to want to look into the policy sign-off sheets, whether it's your employee handbook, your at-will policy, confidentiality policy, and any non-competes that your organization may have. You're also going to want to look into if you are required to report to any EEO information. And again, going through the departmentoflabor.gov is a great resource to figure out if your organization is responsible for that. So many of these forms you can accomplish before the new employee's very first day. If you choose to complete the new hire forms within the employee's first 3 business days, you want to ensure that all paperwork is ready to go so it's a quick process and they can spend more time on the training rather than filling out the paperwork. So on this slide here, this is an example of the onboarding checklist that we use to ensure our employees are being set up for success. The checklist has the entire onboarding process from pre-boarding actions to the 30, 60, 90-day check-ins. There are a lot of onboarding checklists that can be found online to help your organization be more organized, or if you're interested, I can send you this specific one that we utilize here at Project Solutions. So why is onboarding important? I think that this quote kind of covers it all. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So the three main driving factors of positive onboarding are in relation to the structure, the organization, and the first impressions. So a structured onboarding gives employees a great idea of what the company does to drive their success. In turn, this can lead to employee engagement because the new employees will want to be part of that success. During structured onboarding, new employees are given the chance to fully understand the expectations and the KPIs, or key performance indicators, that are set by the organization. It also allows the opportunity for them to ask questions to reduce the amount of potential miscommunication. Additionally, having a structured onboarding leads to more organized onboarding. Organized onboarding is important to reduce any premature assumptions about the company. When onboarding is unorganized, new employees may develop first impressions of the company that may not reflect the business in a correct way and can lead to a quicker turnover. Lastly, having a structured and organized onboarding process is important because consistency is key in almost all human resource processes. So having consistency reduces the amount of errors made by the HR team. Being structured, organized, and consistent can ensure, as a company, you're being proactive rather than reactive. So overall, better onboarding procedures and processes are important to keeping a lower turnover rate, which brings us to the retention of our employees. So let's look at some facts here. 28%, so nearly 1/3 of new hires, quit within the first 6 months of employment. 69% of employees are more likely to stay with the company for at least 3 years if they experience a great onboarding. 58% of employees are more likely to stay with an organization more than 3 years if they go through the structured onboarding process. So the statistics listed here prove to us that structured onboarding processes can help create better first impressions and can lead to better retention rates. So how do we retain these employees we've brought on board with us? So what does retaining employees look like? First, there's training and development. Training and development are a great way to retain employees as well as help the company with increased productivity and better performance. People are motivated by needs. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once all physiological, safety, social, and self-esteem needs are being met, the final need is self-actualization. Examples of this are growth, advancement, and personal creativity. People like to learn new skills to feel more competent and have a sense of accomplishment. New skills can bring new perspectives towards the employees' jobs and more loyalty towards a business because they are meeting those personal goals as well as the company goals. Motivation plays a vital role in any employee's satisfaction, which in turn leads to employee retention. Connecting the goals of the business and the employee is important because if they don't align, the employee may not be as motivated. Another way to boost motivation is reward and recognition. An example of this would be passing around a trophy to your different departments or individuals that performed really well during their monthly or quarterly meetings. This would be a good way to praise the employees that have done a great job and help motivate employees to do well for their next period of performance. Creating a positive work environment where employees are happy and appreciated can really go a long way. Employees that are engaged are 5 times less likely to leave their job. Rewards don't always have to be monetary. People like to be recognized so that they know that the work that they're doing is important and relevant. Rewarding employees could be anything that would build morale, such as company and department outings or a party, having a wall of fame for public recognition. Rewards could even be something like a handwritten note left on their desk to show employee appreciation. So ultimately, the best way to retain an employee is to address what your employees and what your job seekers want from a good company. Is it benefits, competitive pay, flexibility, personal development? purpose in their position, and a positive work environment. These are just a few examples of what people are looking for when joining an organization. We go to the next slide here, and a survey on the impact of continued education for employees. 34% of employees who left their previous job were motivated to do so by more career development opportunities. So 2 huge factors of retention of employees are through career development and employee engagement. So now we're going to talk about employee engagement and some of the benefits an organization are going to see as a result of strong engagement. So one is going to be increased employee productivity. So research shows that engaged employees are 17% more productive than their peers. They're more likely to work diligently and expend discretionary effort in their jobs. Another one is going to be that higher employee retention we've been talking about. Engaged employees don't have a reason to look elsewhere for their work. Engaged employees turn over less often because they know they will be recognized for their contributions, they see opportunities for professional growth and career development, and they understand when organizational change happens and why. These 3 pillars enable employees to connect to the present and the future. Also, increased customer satisfaction. So 72% of executives strongly agree that organizations with highly engaged employees have happy customers. So engaged employees care deeply about their jobs and thus their customers. With employment engagement, there's often lower absenteeism. When employees are committed to your mission, they're going to show up. So highly engaged workplaces see 41% lower absenteeism. Organizations are also going to see better employee health. Engaged employees are less likely to struggle with weight issues, less likely to suffer from chronic disease, more likely to eat healthier, and more likely to exercise. Having healthier employees ultimately positively impacts your bottom line. There's going to be decreased workplace injury. So engaged employees are more aware of their surroundings and can focus on the task at hand. Research has shown that 70% fewer safety incidences occur in highly engaged workplaces. So just to give an overall summary of what we've talked about today, the onboarding process of integration and familiarization for employees is vital for an organization, and it really sets the employee and the organization up for success right from day one. Employee check-ins are important for engagement and development. Communication of expectations for new employees is important and vital to the organization. When talking about onboarding, you really want to be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to the process, which of course includes the pre-boarding, the onboarding, and then the 30, 60, 90-day check-ins. And then employee engagement and development is a vital way in retainment looking forward as you're wanting to grow your organization and retain your employees. So, that being said, I wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to join us today. If you have any questions, I've linked my email here. Please feel free to contact me if you're looking for any resources. Project Solutions is always willing to speak with you and help find resources for your human resource side or any other side of the business that you're looking for help and more information in. And then we also just have our resource page here. I would like to point out the SHRM page, another great resource for trying to learn more about human resources. There's a lot of interesting articles on there containing information about onboarding and retaining employees. Thank you. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.